Alright, I put a shirt on, well, a dress. I see Zoe. I mean, Amber never would, very rarely would have been fucking caught in a dress, other than modeling, and because modeling and sex was a power game, because I knew men fucking got off on how hot I was, which gave me the edge. Anyway, Zoe now likes to wear like sundresses and shit all the time. I really like being me. I am so much more comfortable and happy the way I am now. And I've actually really quite quickly grown to liking these little streaming dialogues and stuff, because guess what? It's my brain moves faster than my mouth. And so I had to I had to learn to smoke to be able to slow my brain down enough so that I could catch up to it. At least that's what my cognitive therapist explained to me. Wow, that really took some getting used to. Damn, right? Then I had to silence the screams to truly be able to listen. And it's kind of fun for me because now when I'm faucet on flow, everything's in sync. I'm not trying to catch up to anything in my head. I'm not trying to regulate and govern and slow my thoughts down fast enough to catch up, and I'm not trying I'm talking, so I'm fully present in my always talk never shut upness. It feels right. And that game of hot or colder, of that feels right. Not only is that how I finally learned what love really is, but it's how I know this is God's voice inside me. Because I believe man's ignorance projected the duality out of confusion of our own. God is the only thing in the universe that is one. Everything else is two. That which we rest on is one. And it's all about point of view and perception. So, anyway, I like getting all of this out of me like this, and I like finally getting to a point where I release my angst enough that I can start to share who I'm now. I had to share with you who I was and who I struggle with being. Who it is my proud honor to carry the burden of. But you know what? We got to take the uniform off at some point. I remember the officer I moved back to the States to be with, right? Because I always knew I was going enlisted. Far more education, far more experience, blah, 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 whatever, than even captain, sir! But, enlisted felt right. And like many, he had a hard time transitioning out of the uniform when he came home. And even before I went in, I am not one of your soldiers! Dude, I mean, and the funny thing is, long before I even went in, right? Because we were together a minute. Before I even went in, he would hate going to the grocery store with me or going shopping with me on anything. He would hate it, not for what you think. He would hate it because I was such a soldier. I would get in, I would get out, I would get what I need, I'd get the mission done, and we'd go. He would continually ask me to slow down, to bring it down a notch. I'm like, I'm working. Sapper, Captain, Sir, could you bring it down a notch? Hey, how about when you come home in the afternoon, you bring it down a notch? You know, it's yin and yang. It's balance. And no matter how hard you think Gibbs is, imagine how he feels. Imagine being in his head. I have utmost compassion for that character. As I have utmost compassion for Sherlock Holmes from Elementary, as I have utmost compassion for the anti-heroes. I've had compassion for anti-heroes since I knew what an anti-hero was. When I was a kid, my brother has I have a problem with numbers. He has a problem with letters. I forget the different ones. One's dyslexia, one's dyscalculia. Okay, I have dyscalculia. He has dyslexia. My brother was in his early teens when I taught him how to read through comic books and skateboarding. Funny enough, right? Baby brother, yo. I remember identifying with Harley Quinn. I remember, I'm the Juggernaut, bitch! That's why the military loves Batman. Nah, man, Superman's too clean. And you know what? He didn't earn it. He was born with it. Batman aches. Batman has bad dreams at night. Batman wakes in sweats. Batman thinks about eating a bullet sometimes. Yeah. So for you to call us heroes? Not quite. We wear bracelets because those are the heroes. Rolling Thunder? God, this generation is so fucking myopically selfish. I fell apart at Rolling Thunder, right? Because I still believed America knew what it wanted. I still believed America had a fucking clue. I still held hope that you hadn't been so mentally fucked over at this point, but you have! You have! And you cling to it. Just Google Darren Brown and influence. And watch with an open mind. And then look with a critical mind. Yeah, you thought you had free will? No. They've just made oppression look prettier and the yoke intangible. The yoke intangible. That's it. Funny thing. Cardinal sins. You know, those 7 deadly ones? The 7 deadly sins are also known as capital sins. And you know what? If you stop and you look at them, they are what is wrong. Capitalism. Whoa. And now we're looking at capitalism, quite literally, versus socialism, quite literally. Whoa, guys, back the fuck up. We're American. And I seriously, heartfelt request that before any American votes this year, you go back and read the Constitution. Read the articles. Read. Google the Founding Fathers. Pick anything. Read it. Because guess what? We've lost our way. We lost our way. And I haven't even seen news in over 2 years. I don't watch it and shit. I'm forcibly exposed to it accidentally sometimes, and even I can fucking see this shit. Probably this is why I can see this shit. You are fucking kidding me! Yeah, well, the squeaky wheel gets the oil. Well, now we got two squeaky wheels and we're on a fucking bicycle. Whoa. Yeah. It's the fucking age of an interconnected era of globalization, and we're still on a fucking bicycle. How does that make you feel? Empowered much? Interesting. And the thing is, everybody's known it. Not every, I mean, of course, the common people, the people I'm talking to now. Whoa, mind blown, because you didn't know it. But you know what, all the politicians? What is PSYOP? PSYOP is touch of politics, public relations, marketing, advertising. Definitely some politics, because hey, it's a form of warfare, right? And psychology. Holy fucking shit. Politics, like elections. Because, honestly, look at the definition of politics. If you have two humans on a desert island, you have politics. Hi. If you have two humans on a desert island, you have advertising, marketing, and public relations as well. Holy shit. So, what you're actually talking about is human behavior and interaction, and there comes the psychology. And you know what? They all know it. They all know it. Oh, there's a TED Talk on advertising. I've actually put it up on as you've been psyoped on the blog for War Than Peace. Oh my god! Thank God it's a British guy, because that way it's at least a little more removed from being everything so directly American, American, American. Don't get me wrong, we are not the only ones with these problems. We're the tip of the spear for the world. We know that. We're the influencer of the world. We are the capital of the world. Hi, welcome to being the big brother. It comes with responsibility. And so everybody looks to us. Our economy crashes, the world's right behind us. So we are the battleground. We are the front lines. If we fucking allow, the world's right behind us. We are the fulcrum for the world, because the world looks to us. And that all feeds back into why I believe God is not only in God's duality in all of us, but God is that spark of life. God is that action of pure love. God is that action of sacrifice. God is that action of doing the right thing. God is an entity that was gifted to all of us in that spark of life. And with the responsibility of that spark of life, we're responsible for taking care of each other. Because together, we're all still part of God. We're all still part of God. So for you to be labeling and hurting, love thy neighbor. For you to be labeling and hurting your neighbor, you are hurting God. So yes, you are responsible for your actions. And the 7 deadly ones that are drowning America, like my own waterboarded snot. And listen to my voice again. Wow. Loving Snot Horseman. Thank you. Waterboard me more. The viscosity is fucking And the doctor's like, oh, well, you see, well, the way snot works is that 1/4 of it drains into your stomach all the time. That's normal. When either is too thick or too thin. And I'm like, dude, fuck me. I'm the stupid ass bitch that deliberately gave myself medication poisoning so that I could figure out what the fuck was happening. Because medicine has been absolutely useless to me. And I was on all sorts of fucking medications, and I'm like, dude, something is seriously wrong. So I pulled myself off the medications, and I tested each one to see what was potentially causing me to react. Guess what? It's not the medication. One of the medications was having an opposite effect and exacerbating the problem, so I'm never taking that one again. But the medication wasn't the problem that was causing all the snot. So I have really gone to unreasonable degrees to remove and address all possibility in the past 1 year that I have been continuing to breathe my own personal bioenvironment. Hey, when I found the mold, I ripped the carpet out. It's all I know how to do. I roll the windows down even in the winter so I could, I'm just an average Joe. I'm on a limited income with permanent disability. I fucking live right outside of DC still, because that's where I lived before my injury, and it's fucking expensive. I'm doing the fucking best I can. I can't afford to up and go and buy a brand new car, because Orisman giving me back a car with mold in it because they fucked up their job so many times I had a mental breakdown. Okay, so I can't afford to go and buy a new car because they fucked up and have mold in it, and now I'm being waterboarded all of the time. See? There's always that voice of reason inside me. And that voice of reason, it used to be me. It used to be me because I needed to bend down and grab and yank the straps up and get in the fucking face and say, finish the march! And I did that to myself all the time. But I'm not doing that anymore. Now it's the voice of reason. And that's why when the other day, when I flipped out on a friend, I didn't overly flip out. I was just expressive. I mean, she should, by seeing these, she should really pretty much understand that I'm just a expressive person. I'm a passionate person. It's not about you. Oh, you're mean. Well, yeah, actually meaner than you know. Welcome to the world, Helen Keller. I'm also a really, really, really good person. I am Walt Whitman's Blades of Grass. I am the multitudes. I am much more encompassing than most. And genuinely and truly and honestly so. Oh my God, I was in a class with Janine Driver, right? I was in one of the behavioral psychology interrogation, blah, blah, blah. There really is nothing like it in the United States. Think about that. Anyway. And the only things that even come close are taught to specialized groups of people. Fuck. I need to smoke more. Actually, yes, I do. Right now. I mean, the entire point of getting on here was to show you me just relaxing. Because you know what? I'm not like this all the time either. Even Gibbs goes back and works on his boat. I think Gibbs is a human needed it because even Hollywood has only begun to show the complexity of true humanity. And so because so many of us have had nobody to look up to, including myself, I looked up to Angelina Jolie. She was the first one. I was in I was at J. Sargent Reynolds when Gia came out, right? I had seen Hackers, seen it again recently. Oh my god, what a culturally influencing film that was. And love her. I had seen Hackers before, but I didn't really know it was her. And oh my god, for that to be Sherlock Holmes, two major influences. Angelina Jolie, very major influence on who Amber became, and Sherlock Holmes, Miller dude, Elementary, very large influence on who I have chosen to remodel myself after. Hey, I'm sorry, I gotta work with what I got here, and trust me, it is just as much of a burden. So to have found that they were together in Hackers, like 15 years later, I was like, oh my god! Anyway, so I looked up the movies, right? Because I've never had anybody I could really look up to. Because I always pushed harder. Because I always demanded more. Because I always... Why was I the gold standard? Why did I felt like that episode where Superman's like playing football and stuff, and his dad's like, no, you have to hold back all of the time. He's like, Dad, I am. He's like, honey, you gotta hold back more. I was already holding back so much, and people still thought I was arrogant. Or a poser. Or a sandbagger. Or a faker. Or whatever. No, just fucking open your eyes and see me. Stop blinding yourself with your own labels. Those are your problem, not mine. I need to smoke.